We're going to crash the party with this show, so celebrate all the action with us. I begin my pregame ritual as Joe shakes his head in disapproval. I guarantee you will fall for this one. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro.
And this is one of Howie's favorite shows of the year. Why?
Football.
That's right. He gets a football highlight because we have 2 football games to talk about, 2 volleyball videos to show. Volleyball season continues on. Still a handful of games left for their regular season.
Yep.
Football team done with the regular season now, waiting to find out where their section game will be next week.
You know what would be really nice? If we had a teleprompter working.
It would help. It is one of those things in the television industry that makes this job up here a little bit easier. Not that this is a difficult job to begin with, but it does make it that much easier if we know what we're saying.
Yeah, got to turn it on. I think
Sometimes
that's the key.
I go without, and that's what we'll do until they're all booted up. The final Friday night of the regular season for the Coon Rapids Cardinals took them to Park Center to take on the winless Pirates. It was a great chance for the Cardinals to get their first win of 2020. They've dominated the Pirates historically and hadn't lost to Park Center in at least a decade. An impressive outing from their young running back made sure that streak would not be broken. Defense dictated the early going on this one, but the Cardinals take advantage of a short field after a bad punt midway through the first. David Jeebley getting to the end zone for a 7-yard score. Just the start of a monster night for him. An interception gave the Pirates a short field late in the quarter. They cash in as well. Desmond Scott right up the middle for a 3-yard score. Game tied at 6 after the first. Cardinals go 65 yards on 6 plays on their next possession. 5 of the plays runs by David Jeebley, caps it with an explosive 17-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion, not good, 12-6 Cards. Pirates answer quickly with a big play, 2nd and 11 from their 33. Micah Hoban airs it out to the right. Austin Iobamadeli behind the defense, hauls it in, hustles to the house, 67-yard score. Cardinals offense rolling again. Jeebley is the engine, just showing off the speed and shiftiness on this play, making people miss everywhere. 28 yards on this carry. Gets the Cards into the red zone, but they face a 4th and 13 from the 20. Jordan Doe lays this one in beautifully for Sonny Tao between 2 Pirates. He makes the grab and the score. Cardinals back in front 20-12 midway through the second. Pirates able to respond again. Long drive deep into the Cardinals' end. 4th and 2 from the 9. Hoban rolling right, floats it to Amir Madian at the back of the end zone. Their 2-point try failed, so it's 20-18 at the half. Coon Rapids stretches the lead in the third. Diving catch by Darius Hewlin puts them up by 2 scores. And then a big, bad punt block recovered in the end zone by Ethan Tedrow. Gives the Cardinals a touchdown, and all of a sudden they're up 36-18. Another touchdown for David Jeebley. Had to spin his way in. He had 227 yards and 3 scores against Park Center. Cardinals get one more score late in the game, 4th and 2, just trying to get the first down and kill the clock. But Nathan Cavanaugh somehow able to spin away from 4 would-be tacklers, and he sprints 45 yards for the score. His first of the season, secures the 48-18 win. It also infuriated the Park Center sidelines. Don't know, there might have been some exchanges of words between the kids on the field. Either way, after the 2-point conversion failed again, or no, they converted that 2-point conversion, I think. After that 2-point conversion, the Pirates left the field, and the coach had some words for the Cardinal coaching staff. But either way, a solid night for them. David Jeebley was fantastic to watch.
Well, yeah, here, just off the press, David Jeebley, he's really good.
He's pretty good.
He is really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Fun,
it was an
really
interesting end to
watch.
that. It was an interesting end to that game. And Coach Salas had some legitimate complaints during that game on some uncertain calls. And I understand that, in the heat of the moment you get upset. It was just an
frustration.
Odd situation to leave
a very
the field.
Weird end.
Yeah, really strange.
But, it was fun. And we were talking about it before the game. In our memory, I can only remember in the 23 years we've been following Coon Rapids football, I only remember one loss to Park Center.
Yeah. So nice to get the win. The Cardinals were excited for one last chance to play at the complex, and they knew this would be a tough matchup. Falcons had won 3 straight games and were putting up big offensive numbers. Both teams featured dominant run games and would be fighting hard to finish the regular season strong. Armstrong shows off its big play ability on the opening kick. Jordan McComb picks it up just inside the 20-yard line. He finds a seam right up the sideline. Great blocking in front, great speed from McCollum. Looks like he's going to score his third return touchdown of the year, but he trips up inside the 5. It's frustrating for that young man. Well, it still gives the Falcons a very short field, and they punch it in 2 plays later. Caleb Jones gets behind his blocker, gets to the goal line to give Armstrong a 7-0 lead less than a minute into the game. And that was the only score of the first half as both defenses stepped up. 3rd and goal for Armstrong with just a second left. You saw David Jeebly get to Malone for the sack, and that's how that first half would end. Cardinals open up the third with a 12-play drive that ends with a 1-yard David Jeebly score to get Coon Rapids on the board. 2 points conversion fails, and the Falcons answer with a long drive of their own. Jamin Malone to the end zone on 4th and goal. Great adjustment by Peyton Newberg. Still a 1-score game at 14-6. Late in the third, one for Armstrong. Malone on the keeper, but Jeebly catches up, strips the ball away. Coon Rapids recovers right at midfield. Just 2 plays later, watch this pass. Jordan Doe is going to air it out, and he finds Sonny Tao. Great catch, all alone behind the defense. He scoops and sprints for that 46-yard score. Another failed 2 points, so it's 14-12 Armstrong. Armstrong gets a turnover deep in the Cardinals' territory and able to take advantage with a quick score of their own. 6-yard run up the middle makes it 21-12. Falcons still early in the 4th. A questionable non-call late in the game. 4th and 7 for the Cardinals. Jordan Doe fires deep over the middle. Nathan Kavanaugh is run over, and there's no flat. There's no flat! Pass was ruled uncatchable. I don't believe it. That gives Falcons another short field, and they add 1 more score to the board. Malone on a play action, able to find a hole and get to the end zone from the 3. And Armstrong is going to win the game by a score of 28-12.
Yeah, fun game. David Jeebly was outstanding offensively
really
and defensively against Armstrong. The non-call was a head scratcher because I looked at it again and again in replay as well. In real time, it looked even more egregious than it did in replay. But in replay, I don't see how anyone sees that as an uncatchable ball. The ball landed on the ground 3 feet after contact.
When the official was right there. Well, yeah, the official
was
right there too. It just, officials are human. They miss plays.
Absolutely.
But that was.
But if that's a third down play and a 4th down play,
Yep.
that's a huge difference.
Huge.
On 4th down, that defender made no effort to look for the ball.
Nope.
But I was so happy that they got to play the game.
Yes.
On Tuesday, we got 3 inches of snow. We were thinking, did they lose out on their last home game, meaning their only home game of the year was the first game? But no, they got it done. They got it cleared off. They got to play one more time at home. And they could potentially have a playoff game at home.
They could. Well, tip of the hat to everybody who cleared that field in the bleachers before that game. I talked to Coach Russin before. He said he got there at noon. The whole field was covered. When he came back after, he couldn't believe that they got all that done and ready to play.
Well, just 3 teams in the section tournament this year.
Crazy.
Andover will be the #1 seed. Coon Rapids will play Cambridge Isani, who is wrapping up their regular season on Thursday night, which is when we're shooting the show. If Cambridge wins, Coon Rapids goes to Cambridge. If Cambridge loses, they come to the Cardinal Complex on Thursday.
I don't wish any team to lose, but I do.
Well, volleyball team, as I mentioned, still has a handful of games left in their regular season. Last Thursday, Cardinals were on the road also facing Armstrong. Falcons were a 3-3 team coming off a loss to Maple Grove on Monday. It was an opportunity for the Cardinals to try to take down one of the teams in the middle of the conference, but they would have to be on their game. Armstrong gets the stage set right away. A dominant performance in the opening set. Quick turn off the serve. Kaya Durant in the middle for the kill. Falcons soared a 25-13 win. Coon Rapids able to make it more competitive the rest of the way. Attack up the middle as well. Bresnahan sets it up for Masteller. She knocks it down. Tied 3-3 early in the second. Cardinals with a lead midway through the second. Another solid serve receive here. This time they go to Michaela Wilbur on the left. She fires it to the back line. Coon Rapids up 14-12. But the lead would not last. Falcons start to pull away. They go back to Durant with a back set. Durant gets another kill, and Armstrong goes on to the 25-19 win. Take 2 sets to none lead. Third set is even closer all the way to the end. Big defense for the Cardinals on this point. Nicole Post with the block in the middle. That gave Coon Rapids a 19-15 lead. Again, it's Armstrong leading late. Cardinals trying to avoid the sweep on match point. Falcons able to come up with a big save and get it to Riley Fry on the left side. She finds the floor and ends it with a 26-24 win for Armstrong in the third.
Well, the Cardinals start our play this week with a visit from Elk River on Tuesday. The Elks were 6-3 and won 5 of their previous 6. All of their wins were in 3 sets. They would be a huge challenge for the Cardinals. Score tied early in the first set. Elk River wants to tack up the middle, but Nicole Post is there to shut it down. Coon Rapids leads briefly at 7-6. Elks score the next 7 points to take control of the opening set. Cardinals struggling to stay in it. Catherine Goda is able to get the cross-court kills you saw there. Last point of the first set. Set point for Elk River. They will set it up for Ellie Cotton. She pounds it off the block for the point. Elks take the first set 25-15. Cardinals looking for a fast start in the second, and they get it. Great attack down the line by Michaela Wilbur gives them a very early lead. And they were in front most of the second set, but it's close all the way. Nicole Post able to poke this one around the defense for the point. Tied in the second set at 19-all. But Elk River able to get the win at the end. Cardinals down 23-24, and the serve goes long, giving the Elks the win and the 2-set lead. Cardinals try to avoid the sweep and keeping it close again in the third. Michaela Wilbur with another big kill. She had team-high 8 kills against Elk River. That was tied at 12, and then Elk River went on a run. Becca Masteller also had 8 kills on Wednesday. This one was placed perfectly. But down 20-14 at that point, and the Elks finished strong. Jordan Hun serves up the ace on the match point. Elks ended in 3 with a 25-16 win in the third.
Yeah, and the Cardinals definitely played better in the second and third sets than they had in the first. But Elks, a pretty solid team. Saw some really nice things. I thought Michaela Wilbur had an outstanding match that night that we were there. And like I said, they've only got 4 games left. Tonight they're at Champlain Park. They'll have 3 after that. They're hosting Spring Lake Park on Monday. And Howie?
We'll be there.
Or at least you will. Unfortunately, because of the shift in schedules this week, we're going to skip Sports Night next week because we really won't have anything to show except the only thing we'd be able to talk about is the one volleyball game. So we're going to skip Sports Night next week. We'll be back the week after with football playoff highlights and also highlights of some volleyball matches as well. After Spring Lake Park on Monday, we will have those football playoffs for you and hopefully do some volleyball playoffs as well. Everything keeping our fingers crossed continues to move forward, and we will continue to cover as much as we can. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.